I'm delighted to have you as part of this community. Welcome, 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 curious minds, to our video that explores the ins and outs of Helen Morgan singer. Helen Morgan. Helen Morgan Riggins, August 2, 1900 October 9, 1941 was an American singer and actress who worked in films and on the stage. A quintessential torch singer, she made a big splash in the Chicago club scene in the years. She starred as Julie LaVerne in the original Broadway production of Hammerstein and Kern's musical Showboat in 1927, as well as in the 1932 Broadway revival of the musical, and appeared in 2 film adaptations, a part-talkie made in 1929 prologue only and a full sound version made in 1936, becoming firmly associated with the role. She suffered from bouts of alcoholism, and despite her notable success in the title role of another Hammerstein and Kern's Broadway musical, Sweet Adeline 1929, her stage career was relatively short. Helen Morgan died of cirrhosis of the liver at the age of 41. She was portrayed by Polly Bergen in the Playhouse 90 drama The Helen Morgan Story and by Ann Blyth in the 1957 biopic based on the television drama. As we progress, let's zoom in on early life and examine its role in shaping our overall narrative. She was born Helen Riggins in 1900 in Danville, Illinois, United States. Her father, Frank Riggin, was a farmer in Davis Township, Fountain County, Indiana. After her mother, Lulu Lang Riggin, divorced and remarried, she changed her last name to Morgan. Her mother's second marriage ended in divorce, and she moved to Chicago with her daughter. Helen never finished school beyond the 8th grade and worked a variety of unskilled occupations. She worked as an extra in films. By the age of 20, Morgan had taken voice lessons and started singing in speakeasies in Chicago. Her voice was not fashionable during the years for the kind of songs in which she specialized. Nevertheless, she became a wildly popular torch singer. A draped-over-the-piano look became her signature while performing at Billy Rose's Backstage Club in 1925. Morgan became a heavy drinker and was often reportedly drunk during these performances. As we progress, let's zoom in on career and examine its role in shaping our overall narrative. Morgan was noticed by Florence Ziegfeld while dancing in the chorus of his production Sally in 1923. And she went on to perform with the Ziegfeld Follies in 1931, the Follies' last active year. During this period, she studied music at the Metropolitan Opera in her free time. In 1927, Morgan appeared as Julie LaVerne in the original cast of Showboat, her best-known role. She sang the lyrics by P.G. Wodehouse, music by Jerome Kern, and Can't Help Lovin' Dat Man into stage runs and 2 film productions of Showboat over a span of 11 years. During the run of Showboat, however, Morgan's stardom led to difficulties. Her prominence in the world of New York nightclubs, actually illegal speakeasies in the era of Prohibition, led to her fronting a club called Ches Morgan, at which she entertained. On December 30, 1927, only days after the opening of Showboat, she was arrested at Ches Morgan for violation of liquor laws. Charges were dropped in February 1928, and the club reopened as Helen Morgan's summer home, but she was arrested again on June 29 and this time indicted. A jury acquitted her at a trial held in April 1929. After appearing in the 1929 film version of Showboat, she went on to star in Kern and Hammerstein's Broadway musical Sweet Adeline. The title was a reference to the famous barbershop quartet song. She took the role of burlesque star Kitty Darling in Rabin Mamoulian's 1929 classic feature film Applause, with stage act portrayals, as well as a cappella singing in private scenes. Get ready to uncover the mysteries surrounding personal life as we navigate its intriguing terrain. Morgan was married 3 times. Her first husband was Lowell Army, a fan she had met at a stage door while she was performing in Sally. On May 15, 1933, she married Maurice Buddy Mashk III, the grandson of long-time Ohio Republican Party leader Maurice Mashk. Morgan ended up suing Buddy Mashk for divorce in 1935. Her third husband was Lloyd Johnston, whom she married on July 27, 1941. In 1926, Morgan had a daughter whom she gave up for adoption. As we venture forward, let's take a closer look at later years and death and its impact on our understanding. Morgan starred in a radio program, Broadway Melodies, on CBS. The show, which featured light, popular, and semi-classical music, ran from September 24, 1933 to April 22, 1934. A later version, retitled Broadway Varieties and Without Morgan, ran from May 2, 1934 to July 30, 1937. Morgan's last film appearance was in the 1936 version of Showboat. In the late years, Morgan was booked for a show at Chicago's Loop Theatre. She also spent time at her farm in High Falls, New York. Alcoholism plagued her, and she was hospitalized in late 1940 after playing Julie LaVerne one last time in a 1940 Los Angeles stage revival of Showboat. She made something of a comeback in 1941 thanks to her manager, Lloyd Johnston. However, the years of alcohol abuse had taken their toll. She collapsed on stage during a performance of George White's Scandals of 1942 and died in Chicago of cirrhosis of the liver on October 9, 1941. She was buried at Holy Sepulchre Cemetery in Alsip, Illinois. Brace yourself for an in-depth analysis as we navigate through in popular culture and its far-reaching implications. Morgan was portrayed by Polly Bergen in a 1957 Playhouse 90 drama, The Helen Morgan Story, directed by George Roy Hill. Bergen won an Emmy Award for her performance. That same year, the feature film The Helen Morgan Story starred Ann Blyth as Morgan. Get ready for a thought-provoking discussion as we delve into filmography and its impact on our understanding. Six Cylinder Love, 1923 The Heart Raider, 1923 Showboat, 1929 In the Prologue Only, she appeared as Julie LaVerne and sang Can't Help Lovin' That Man and Bill Applause. 1929 sang What Wouldn't I Do for That Man and Give Your Little Baby Lots of Lovin' glorifying that American girl. 1930 sang What Wouldn't I Do for That Man Roadhouse Nights. 1930 sang It Can't Go On Like This The Gigolo Racket. 1931 Short Subject sang Nobody Breaks My Heart and I Know He's My Manhattan Lullaby. 1933 Short Subject sang the Stork song The Doctor. 1934 Short Subject sang One Little Smile Frankie and Johnny. 1936 sang Give Me a Heart to Sing to and If You Want My Heart You Belong to Me. 1934 sang When He Comes Home to Me Marie Galante. 1934 sang Song of a Dreamer and Serves Me Right for Treating You Wrong Sweet Music. 1935 sang I See Two Lovers Go Into Your Dance. 1935 sang The Little Things You Used to Do Showboat. 1936 as Julie LaVerne, she sang Can't Help Lovin' Dat Man and Bill. With the groundwork laid, let's now examine stage and its connections to our previous discussions. Sally, 1923 Chorus Scandals First Principal Role Americana, 1926 American Grand Guignol, 1927 sang Nobody Wants Me Showboat. As Julie LaVerne she sang Can't Help Lovin' Dat Man and Bill. Sweet Adeline, starring role singing 'Twas Not So Long Ago, Here Am I, Why Was I Born? The Sun About to Rise and Don't Ever Leave Me. Ziegfeld Follies, 1931 sang Half-Caste Woman, lyrics by Noel Coward. Showboat, Memory, 1934 starring role singing A Fall There Was a Night at the Moulin Rouge. 1939 Showboat, 1940 as Julie LaVerne she sang Can't Help Lovin' Dat Man and Bill. Your feedback helps me improve, so please take a moment to leave a comment or review.